All right, what's good, family? Tapping into another Godflow episode. I'm sitting with a friend of mine. He is Erin Eagleton. He is a real estate agent and a real estate investor out of Houston. How you doing today, bro?
Doing good, man. How's it going?
It's going good. It's going good. How's Houston weather right now?
Right now it's feeling good, man. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. I mean, it's like just real breezy, man. I feel like I'm in Cali a little
In
bit.
Cali, huh? That's what's up, man. How is Keller Moore? Where you working at right now?
Or Keller Williams.
Oh, damn. Hold up. Keller Williams. Yeah, how's Keller
Yeah,
Williams?
it's good, man. It's a good family because they're all individually owned. So I mean, it's the family I'm with, Keller Williams Metropolitan by the Galleria. It's real cool, man. They have Zoom meetings every day right now. Normally, I'm pretty sure they would have it in the office, but it's just everybody's real cool and nice, man, and they put you on game. And I got a couple of friends that's in there with me. Well, one guy for sure, but I've been meeting some new people in there, man. It's real cool.
That's what's up. Okay, for somebody who's aspiring to be, get in the real estate game, maybe get a real estate license, walk us through the process of what that looks like.
Well, the first thing you have to do is go to a real estate school. Uh, I went to Champions. It's a real good school. I would advise to go in person. They have online classes and stuff, but I would advise go in person because they're gonna give you the real game. It's like they experiences and stuff because a lot of them they're either brokers or commercial brokers or just real estate agents in general doing their own business, and they bring in like top agents around Houston or whatever area you in, and yeah, they put you on game and try to recruit you and stuff, but for the most part, they put you on game and show you that it's possible. Like so, I would say go to the school first. You got to pass all 6 classes, and then you take the
What do
state.
those 6 classes entail? Is it just like codes and procedures and shit?
It's a lot. It's about the laws, contracts, financing. What is the principles of real estate, and like the math part of it. Just learning how to work the numbers and the different acreages and stuff, and just telling you just different laws about different things as far as going into real estate.
Okay. Was it difficult?
The classes, man, all right, online, I tried it and I got discouraged at first because I passed the class, but it came to the test part of that class and it was Real Estate Principles 1. And I failed it. And I was like, man, this ain't for me. I'm gonna go keep trying to do this real estate investing and wholesaling. And it just kept coming to my face like, man, you need to go and pass this test. I kept meeting agents doing my regular day job. And I'm just like, man, I'm gonna just go and do it in class. And when I got into class, it was just breezy, bro. Like, because they giving you hints and stuff. And then it's people that's already been in the class. So they got different apps they use to study, like free apps. So
Yeah.
I'm going through studying, like just breezing through it. So it was pretty. The classes were easy, man. Like in person, from my experience. But
Yeah.
yeah,
So when you're sitting back and you look back at the exams and the tests and all the things you had to go through, was it worth it?
yeah, just because it'll give you like the knowledge that you need as far as like the laws. But when you get into business, it's a whole different ball game, bro. It's nothing.
So the real estate class don't teach you how to actually be a real estate agent. They just teach you
No,
the codes and the procedures and policies and things like that. But when you get into the actual ball game, it's a completely different approach.
it's like boxing. You go through all that training, but as soon as you get hit, all that's out the window. Like
Out the window.
so,
That's what's up, man. So let's say I'm a first time home buyer, or I want to be a first time home buyer, and I'm not sure, if I even qualify, or I'm not sure where to look, or I'm new to the area and things like that. Somebody get in contact with you, somebody get in contact with the brokerage in which you work for. What's that conversation look like
pretty much it's
or
just
sound
like
like?
to me, I believe it's building their relationship with the client or customer. Also, vice versa, the client building a relationship with the agent, because a lot of these people, they probably out here for the money. Like, but I think that's bad business. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just building a relationship is the number one thing. Number two is make sure you pre-approved. Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to go in wasting your time and wasting the agent's time.
What does that pre-approval process look like? Is that somebody before they even get in contact with you, calling a bank, calling whoever the case is?
Not necessarily, because you may have in mind where you want to go, what you want to do, and we can get the process started as far as like you signing the paperwork for me to represent you. And then that way it's like, okay, I'm working with you now. I can advise you to go to different banks, whatever bank you feel comfortable with mostly. But I know Keller Williams, I haven't really looked into it, but I know we have a Keller mortgage, and like people can come by and you know, you can just see what you're pre-approved for, and they may have different discounts because you're working with us, or you never know what your bank may offer you. Like, so it's just really, that's why I say get pre-approved, because you can see what you're working with. That way it makes the process easier, and you won't be trying to bite off more than you can chew. Or, I mean, you may think like, man, I don't know how much credit I have, and you go in there, it's like, man, I'm good. I can get whatever house I want, really. Like, so it's just to be knowledgeable of what you can do and what you can't do.
So what is an ideal credit score for purchasing a home? I mean, obviously the higher the better, but let's say I've had some experiences in my past, like the rest of folks who, you know, their credit may have been impacted left or right. What would a real estate agent suggest the credit score be for an individual looking to buy a house?
I've heard, just from my personal experiences, like if you got like a 620 starting off, like that can get you in the door with getting a home. It really just depends on what the bank goes through. I mean, it's like, I'm not too sure. I'm not a bank teller or anything like that. But I know the higher the better is always a good goal. So I would say just a good 600 to get started, 620 somewhere in there. And
but you know what I mean, right? You know, somebody whose credit may have been impacted through mistakes that they have made, and you know they want to buy a house, but they're obviously unsure based on the credit history and things like that, if they even qualify. But I didn't know if there was like a ballpark. So if I came in there with a 430, you know, they'd be like, the door, my boy, the door.
I've heard in classes, like during my real estate classes, they were saying that doesn't matter. Like if I haven't experienced it yet, but I've heard it doesn't matter because it's money out there. Like, and that's where I'm still learning. That's why I say I'm still green, because it's so many ways to get people in homes. So that's why I said I don't know every aspect of it, but from what my own experiences, I've heard 620 and higher. But from in class, the old school guy that was talking to me, he was telling me he can get you in. So, I mean, it's just some research, but I would say just to be knowledgeable and just check different banks. So, what is it? I forgot the name of it. It's different credit banks or whatever you can just check out, man. Like
credit unions.
Credit unions. There we go. Brain fart, man.
Got you. Okay, so what would be the number one thing you recommend to somebody when they're purchasing a home? Before they even get started, before they come talk to you, let's say if it was you, what was the number one thing you would recommend?
Find 3 properties or find 3 areas that you want to live in, and just start there. Like, you don't have to wait on an agent to give you every direction. You can start on your own and just tell them like, hey, this is what I want to do, and I want you to negotiate for me. Or this is where I want to live at. Can you see what homes are in the area, or what the prices are in this area? I mean, that'll help out the most. I mean, if you just call an agent like, hey, I want a home, it's gonna be like, you're going through the process of like, where you want to stay at.
They're gonna be like, I want a home too. What you asking me right
exactly.
now?
So, you know, just, it's a team effort. Like, I gotta work together. So if you start the process early, then it'll make the transaction way more smoother. Y'all can build a relationship faster. Like, it's just better to start work on your own and then apply the help when you need it.
Okay, so when we talked about the real estate agent portion, but now let's talk about the real estate investing portion. Does a real estate license assist with being a real estate investor at all? Does it give you any benefits, any advantages or anything like that?
Most definitely, man, because the MLS, the multiple listing service, man, we have I think it's called the Matrix for us. Man, it's truly like the Matrix, bro. You can like it's so much stuff you can see. I'm still breaking it down myself, and it's easier to do a comparative market analysis because as an investor, when you're trying to put together these numbers and see how much it's gonna like make you after you buy the house or buy the property for a cheaper price, and you comparing it to different price points of what's sold and what hasn't sold, it's way easier for that. You get to see what's on the market, like at a good price point for you as well, like to get in. And it's a lot, man. It's a lot to digest, and I'm still trying to figure it out myself. But so far, it's been looking real good.
So this matrix basically provides the analytics, you would say, on what a property is listed at now and what could it be projected to be, 5-10 years down the road. You have access to view it before anybody else. I mean, other than the individuals that have MLS access as well,
Mm-hmm.
versus somebody who doesn't have that real estate license or know a realtor or anything like that. They kind of just going off the knock at the door or what they see on the outside,
Mm-hmm.
things like that. So
or they're guessing. Like investors, a lot of investors, they don't be knowing. Because I know when I started off investing, I went to YouTube University, man. I'm just whatever they say, like just do it this way and compare 3 properties and take them
down too.
That's what I'm saying. And I would speak to guys that know realtors and they're investing as well. And it's like, bro, your numbers are all the way off. Like a couple of 100,000 short somewhere. Like I'm like, whoa, like so. But they had access to the MLS and they can compare those properties that sold, because that's all the market is based off, is what the house was sold off of, like, or what's going up and down for sure, but just what's sold. I mean, around the area.
So how is the Houston area? How is being a real estate agent or investor in that area such a large area to cover? I would think personally, that's more room for everybody to eat, but it could, be some disadvantages there.
Not necessarily, because the Houston market is always growing. Like Houston is basically connected to so many parts, like, like Humble and the Woodlands and Sugarland and Missouri. It's like connected so many places, like, and it's like everybody I believe should be able to eat. I mean, it's just about how you apply yourself. I mean, so I don't think, I think it's booming right now, like on the investor side and on the just regular market real estate side.
Yeah, that's I was telling my homeboy not too long ago, I was like, man, if you want to get into real estate, major cities is probably where you want to be, just because, those of you who don't know, all those places he named off, Humble, Woodlands, Tascasita, Katy, things like that, that's not Houston. That's really just the outskirts of Houston. People say they live in Houston, don't really live directly in Houston. Houston is just so big, so all encompassing of that area, people consider it to be Houston. So you got kind of like a tree. There's different branches that breaks off, and everybody has an opportunity as a real estate agent or investor to just pick a branch. I'm gonna go this way, and if it boom, it boom. If it don't, there's plenty more branches that I can go to get involved.
And with me being, and then it's like, you don't have to invest just in Houston. Like in Texas, you can invest anywhere. But as an agent, I mean, you only can be, I guess, one area at a time. So I think I can get a license somewhere else, but I got to look more into that. But for right now, because I'm in Houston, I mean, I'm a Texas realtor, so I can do anything in Texas, from Austin to El Paso to like anywhere in Houston to do real estate. So I mean, that's the beauty of it, because out there is farm and ranch in different countries, and not countries, counties and stuff that I can just do things like. So I mean, being an agent definitely has its benefits.
And it has been said that real estate is the safest investment anybody can make long term. Is
Yeah,
that one of the reasons you got involved with real estate?
exactly. Yeah, man, because everybody needs somewhere to live. Like, so I feel like you buy your property, and then you just either stay in it, or put somebody in it, or you fix it up and sell it. Like there's nothing bad. I mean, that can happen unless I mean, even if a hurricane come and take your house, you still have the land. Like, so it's the safest investment, man. Like,
So speaking of land, because a lot of the conversation that I have with different people, land ownership right now is a more of a focus than it probably has ever been. Ownership of land, not even necessarily a multifamily home, a commercial property, just land in general. As a real estate agent, do you have access to view land?
yeah, I can pull up the MLS, put in whatever area, and put in lots, and it'll show me the lots that are on the market. Or I can just drive around, see a lot. I can go talk to the person, say I'm an agent or whatever, see if they want to sell it, see if like who owns the lot. Like I mean, you can buy land. Like I haven't found any areas that are like really cheap. Like I know
Especially
it's
not
cheap.
in that area.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I know it's some cheap places where you can buy land at and build on it, hold it. Somebody's gonna like they ain't making land no more. Like so
Can't
I
rebuild the
mean
land.
exactly. Get it while you can, do something with it. And you can start a legacy with just buying some land, man. Like that can be your family forever. Like so
Pass it down. Individuals who's into hunting, that it could be a hunting ground.
mm-hmm.
But really, like you said, man, just being able to pass down something to your family that, in my mind, is always going to appreciate in value. Land
Mm-hmm.
over time, based on location, is going to continue to rise, just because, like you said, nobody rebuilding land around here. We could rebuild that house, we could rebuild that apartment complex, but the
Mm-hmm.
land that you're walking on is not going to be rebuilt.
Exactly. And like you said, that was one thing we learned: location, location, location. That's everything. So exactly, man. If you can find you some land in a good location and you can afford it, get it, because that's probably again the safest investment you can have.
All right. So I know you mentioned YouTube University earlier. Who are some people that are some channels that you watched before you got started
Oh
to
man.
get you on the path of least resistance, you could say?
Well, first off, I just know it's wholesaling elite or wholesaling real estate elite, something like that. It's a few people on there, man. I can't think of their
Did you
names. Like,
did you just go on there and type real estate agent or
yeah,
investing or whatever the case was?
I started off with wholesaling. After wholesaling, I thought I started off with just just being a real estate agent, like how to pass the test, and that brings
So,
you out to
so you
four
just
different.
mentioned something. Sorry to cut you off, but
Mhm.
I don't want to backtrack. But wholesaling, for somebody who doesn't understand wholesaling, could you kind of explain that real quick?
Wholesaling is you find a cheap property, find a motivated seller that lives in that cheap property. They can't fix it up to put it on the market, and they want to sell it. Let's say they own the property. Let's say the property is worth 100,000. You offer 40,000. You don't have 40,000, but you know somebody that's into fixing and flipping homes. And you tell them like, hey, I don't have this type of money, but I know someone that does. If you sign this paperwork here, I can transfer it over to them, and they'll buy your property, and we'll get you out this property. We'll give you a lump sum of money, cash, like up front, and they're gonna fix the property for them. And as far as all you're doing is selling the contract to the buyer, to the guy that's fixing and flipping it, and they put all the money. They give the money to the seller, and I mean it's a real easy process, man. It's just hard to do. Like it's hard to find the motivated sellers. Hard to find the beat up properties to give to the buyers. Excuse me. But yeah, let's just say the property is worth 100,000. They buy it for 40,000. you sell it to the buyer, the contract to them for 50, 60,000. You got $20,000 in your pocket. That easy, like cash.
I guess that's how gentrification started. We're gonna go into, it's an unfortunate situation, man. Gentrification. Somebody comes into a low income, location and throws money at an individual who doesn't necessarily have it to purchase their homes. And as soon as they move out, they rebuild it. And then that land is now 50 times more than it was when you lived there, just because they fixed it up and all those different things. So wholesaling, could be potentially, a negative thing if you look at it, just because my grandma lives in this house. She's older. She can't really take care of it right now. You go knock on her, or not you, somebody goes knock on her door, says, hey, I can give you 50, house is worth 90. She takes that 50, she loses her property, she gains 50K. Somebody moves in, fixes it up, resells it for 120. They now made money off of that property, sold it to somebody, and now that, grandmother, whoever the case is, don't have anywhere else to stay. Well, they might have somewhere else to stay, but they lost a home that was in their family for long periods of time. So Jay-Z said it best, gentrify your own hood before these people do it.
Exactly. And I was just going to say that. That's why if your grandmother is about to lose her property, or she can't take care of her property.
Not my grandma.
not your grandma. Well, if somebody's grandmother is about to lose their property, you got an opportunity. Whoa.
Uh-oh.
I'm still here?
Yeah, I hear you. I don't see you, though.
Hold on.
Uh-oh. We're having some technical difficulties, okay. Bear with me. Somebody probably called or something.
No, I think let me see. Okay, there we go. No, I think
it timed out on you.
No, my gaming camera was hooked up and it somehow turned on. Sorry about that. But
it's all good.
But yeah, like I was saying, if someone's grandmother is if they can't take care of their property anymore and you want to help them out or something, you don't have to, buy and fix it. You can buy and have them hold it and let them fix it up or whatever. Like it's different ways to get around it. But yeah, like that is like I never thought of it that way though. That's crazy, like to think of. Like
I see it now on social media a whole lot, man. People, to make $1, which everybody's got to eat, got it. But to make money, people will literally take advantage of people in communities, low income housing, older people with, low intelligence on real estate investing or real estate in general. And they will buy their house, flip their house, and resell their house to somebody. I'm not putting a color to it, but somebody not like them, who then turns around, flips that property and the properties around it. And now that property is a middle-class location now that you can no longer live in because the price range has skyrocketed.
Yeah. And I've seen it happen. Like people are trying to buy my grandmother's house, and she's not selling it. And everywhere around her, the houses are nice, lofty kind of like houses. And I'm just like, man, like that is really crazy. So
they're gonna keep throwing those numbers at her too. They're gonna go from these numbers to these numbers because it's money.
You can't beat. Yep. And Mike Else was saying something about that. Like he was saying, like they're buying the inner city. Like the black community has been in the inner city. Don't quote me, but just paraphrasing here.
I got
black community. Yeah, they was in the inner city, so they started building these nice houses on the outside, like in Humble, Tascasita, and then our people, they thinking, hey, I got this big house, out here in the Tascasita, I'm doing good. Then they're really buying back the neighborhood that we have, gentrifying it, building it back up, and they're taking over.
Now you can't live there no more because you can't afford it.
Exactly. houses $300,000, $800,000, and it's just like, yo, how could I ever even imagine of living there when I'm only paying $250,000 mortgage over here? Like this, I mean,
it's unfortunate, and we gotta individuals have to start to realize that it's chess, not checkers, man. Like
exactly.
that money that you making at the time might seem good, look good, but over time you're putting other people at a disadvantage. And now a group of individuals who are already struggling to make ends meet are now pushed inside this little small box area or location where it's, you know, poverty stricken, it's, you know, violence and all these different things.
Section 8.
Yeah, Section 8 housing.
Live off the government.
Exactly, because you done sold your grandma's house to make $20,000, man. It sounds good, it look good, it breathes well, but that ain't what's up, man.
That the average person ain't gonna be smart with, and all they're gonna do is go buy this Louis or Gucci, like something that they can't really afford.
A financial illiterate person will do the same thing with $500 that they'll do with $500,000. They're gonna blow that shit on somebody else's dreams and business and everything like that. They ain't gonna build their own.
So while Jordan getting rich, they
literally. Jordan been reselling the same shoes for about 20 plus years.
Since as long as I've been living.
And instead of buying $300 worth of stocks, you buying $300 worth of retro 11s that are going to be released 2 years from now.
Or trying to buy some land for cheap, like find land in a different location real cheap. Like
so. Exactly. Group economics is something that everybody practices, but Black people, unfortunately. We can't bond together, come together, put our petty differences aside and start to buy back the block. We get money and we lead the hood. It's like they rubbing their hands.
We lost our identity. Like I feel like back in the late, I don't know, before like civil rights and everything, we had an identity. Like we stood for something. Even before then, we were kings and queens and stuff. Like, you know, like, so I mean, I don't know.
I don't solely blame Black people for it because
no.
We had some help getting there, but I do know what you're talking about. It's only so long you can stay down and let somebody do the same thing to you over and over again before you stand up and be like, wait a minute, this shit just ain't right, man. We got to fix it.
I feel like that's starting to happen now. Like people starting to wake up a little bit more.
They are, but we gotta watch it. These social media gurus, you know, more power to them. The people that you are selling these products to and you selling these different things to, they look just like you. So be careful not to take advantage of people people who look like you and trying to come up, because I don't know if you see it, but I see it. People in my DMs thinking I'm dumb as a doorknob. Hey man, if you click the link in my bio and you purchase XYZ, I'm telling you, you're gonna be making $100K fast. That instant gratification or that instant paycheck, thinking you're gonna make money just like this. You might make a couple $1,000s just like that, but it's not gonna be consistent. It's not gonna be long term. Develop a trade, develop a skill, real estate, carpenting, agriculture, whatever the case is, perfect that skill. And then you can make some money long term, because those skills are non-perishable.
Invest in yourself.
That whole get rich quick scheme shit, that's only fucking Black people right now, man. We are having a hard time, not all, but some, buying into perfecting a craft, a skill, a trade, and taking care of business, man. We gotta have a quick button, a little flip of the switch that says $1,000. Meanwhile, you can just tighten the light bulb and have $100,000. But yeah, man, I appreciate you. I know we kind of veered off a little bit away from real estate, but it was a much needed conversation to be had. I appreciate you tapping in with me and going through the real estate agent as well as the investing. And I know you about to blow up down in Houston, man. And I wish you nothing but the best down there.
Appreciate it, sir. I feel the same way about you, man. Just keep pushing it, keep doing this podcast thing, man. And hey, you're gonna be the next or the first, the first Myron, bro. First God Flow podcast, man. The one and only.
Yeah, this is I tell people the God Flow podcast that this God Flow content that I'm pushing is really just a platform for me to learn and for other people to, learn if they so choose to, and to drive conversation, man. Because a lot of the times everybody has the same question but just won't ask it. Yep. So just driving conversation and not making it in a way to where it's so formal, and not making it in a way where we just shooting shit. Just a way for us to have that dialogue and to go back and forth, and other people can chime in and say, oh no, that might not be right. Oh no, I feel you on that. Because I don't want people to agree with everything I say or to disagree with everything I say. It's really just to drive a conversation that's not being had on the level that it should be at, bro.
Exactly. And that's what it's all about, man. Just learning and growing and just being able to just be human. Like, we're social creatures. So
that's it, bro.
Just gotta do it like that, man.
All right, bro. Appreciate you tapping in with me, and I'll be checking out for you on my binoculars, making sure you hitting all aspects of what you want to do, man.
For sure, man. Yeah, man, I appreciate the opportunity, man. Appreciate you letting me tap in with you, man, and being a part of your beginning, man. Like, so I appreciate it, man. It's real dope.
No doubt. All right, brother.
All right, man. Take it easy.